welcome to Life of the Party. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. This is my 5th season at GNAT. I'm very proud. I have 3 alums in the audience tonight that have been on my show, Courtney, Ellen, and my mom. And tonight we have a very special guest. Our shortest guest so far, our youngest guest so far, and our least nervous guest so far. We are going to have a ball. Please come on up, Coco. I'm so excited to have you here. We've had such a good time cooking today, and we're going to teach all these folks a few things. So just let's start out by telling everyone how old you are.
I am 11 years old.
And you're in which grade?
6th.
6th grade. So where did your love for cooking begin?
Well, it started about a year ago, and I watched my grandmother cook in the kitchen, and I started helping her and trying new recipes, and I watched a lot of cooking shows, and it just kind of happened from there.
And what was the first thing you attempted to make?
Crepes.
Yeah, and was it successful on the first try? Really? Well, that'll keep you going. It's like getting your first golf shot in the hole. Right? That's great. And so did you just watch TV shows and gather knowledge and then start making your own stuff?
Yes, it definitely happened by watching my favorite cooking shows and then kind of taking what they did and then kind of making it my own and tried that, and it was really fun.
Were you ever afraid of the heat or knives or anything? Or
Definitely at first, and sometimes I still am, but I'm definitely getting more comfortable with it.
Yeah, you're comfortable today. Yeah, and we'll see that tonight too. Did a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you are a possible future contestant on Junior Chopped, right?
Hopefully.
It's very exciting. So how did that all come about?
Well, so my mom kind of mentioned it to me, and I was like, really? And then we went onto the website, the Food Network website, and we saw what shows they were casting for, and one of them was Chopped Junior. And so I filled out the application, and then they called me 2 days later, and they said they wanted me to do a Skype interview. So I did that, and then I had to make more videos and filled out a longer application, and then I had a phone interview, and now I'm just kind of waiting to hear if I get on or not.
Oh, that's so exciting. And you've had some practice, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about your practice at Eating Well magazine.
Yes, so our family friend, Stacy, she works in the test kitchen at Eating Well, and so on Friday night, she set up mystery baskets, and I got entree, and that was really helpful because I was timed 30 minutes, and it helped me I had a certain time, and I know I had to get all my stuff done, and I needed to prepare, so that was very helpful.
That's great because, it is timed, and you need to be able to manage everything and get all your ducks in a row and be ready when that bell rings. You can't be like pulling something out of the oven, right? Well, that's very brave of you and very amazing that you have the confidence to do that. My friends have told me to do that, and I'm like, no way, I could never do that. So that's really exciting.
Thank you.
And your creativity is very obvious. Tell everyone what we're going to make tonight.
So tonight we're making a pork roulade over a bed of mashed potatoes with crispy garlic.
And it's delicious. And that's what you'll be having for dinner tonight. So you want to go ahead and start cooking?
Sure.
All right. We'll be right back and we'll start cooking. All right, Coco, here we are in the kitchen where we both are most comfortable in our lives, right?
Yes.
So this is where the fun begins. So you can start telling us about your recipe and get cutting the mushrooms.
All right, so we're going to start with our stuffing. And so the recipe that all of you have is for 2 people. So with the mushrooms, I'm going to do about 6 to 8. And you're going to chop them up like that, and then just put them to the side.
Don't listen to her. You're good at it. You know what? You're holding the knife like I taught you. It's very excellent. I taught her that this afternoon, and it just stuck. I'm so happy. You're great.
Thank you.
They'll be very impressed in New York City, I promise. All right, I'm going to heat this oil back up a little bit.
Okay.
And I think one more, and then we'll chop them up. So you made this recipe up, right, Coco?
Yeah, so I saw the roulade. I saw how they made it on a cooking show, and then I kind of just made it my own.
Yeah, it's really neat.
So the next step is you just want to kind of roughly chop them into smaller pieces because the pork that we have is small, so you need to make sure that enough mushrooms can fit in the pork.
It's very smart of you to think that way. A lot of people might just say, oh, well, I'll just put a few slices in there because I can't fit any more, but
Yeah,
you love mushrooms.
I love
So
mushrooms.
you want a lot of mushrooms in your pork, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we made it today so you can have it because we certainly couldn't cook for 40 people on camera. You wouldn't want to watch that, I don't think. And it just looks amazing, and Coco had the whole thing down. She knew exactly what she was doing. All right, I'm going to grab this because
Okay.
that is really hot. Here you go. Okay, so let's start cooking that. And we're not going to cook it all the way, right?
Yeah, because we're going to add our arugula in, and arugula cooks really fast, and it kind of wilts down so it gets smaller.
You want to season the mushrooms while they're
Sure.
cooking?
So you just want to season it to your taste, probably just a few pinches, and then some pepper.
I don't know if this is instinctual to you. You are cooking like a 30-year-old. It's amazing. All right, what do you think?
Yeah.
You add the arugula?
Sure.
All right.
So for 2 people, you probably just want like a handful, and you can always add more if you need to.
Think that's good?
Maybe a little more.
Yeah, I agree. Nice. And you don't need to cook it too much. It just wilts right there. We'll take it off the stove, right?
Yep.
And we're going to let that cool. And while that's cooling, we're going to take care of the pork.
Yep.
We started today with a full loin of pork. This is a pork loin that's grown in Vermont, free of all things except pig and whatever the pig ate that was good for it. It's from Black River Meats, and they source all of their meat locally in the state of Vermont, all their pork at least. Some of their beef is from just outside of Vermont. So we're starting with a great product here. So Coco, you had done it with pork chops in the past, so
Yeah.
today we got to start with the whole pork loin, and we cut chops about that thick, and we're going to pound them. You want to? There you go. I'm going to move this knife.
All right. So as I said, the recipe is for 2 people, so we're going to do 2 pieces of pork. So you're just going to pound the meat. It's quite fun.
Quite fun. This is what you do when you get a B on your report and you thought you should have gotten an A, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So she's pounding it using the weight of the mallet instead of putting her weight into it. You let the mallet do the work, right?
Yeah.
That's a tough piece.
Yeah.
Not being as nice to us as it was today.
No.
All right, let me have at it.
Okay.
Move things along. I have a little more aggression. That's what happens with grown-ups. All right. So Let's do this one quickly.
Okay.
All right. And while you're doing that, it's hard to have a conversation, right?
Yeah.
But as you can see, when you're cooking this for 2 people, it's not going to take much. It gets out your aggression. And you can fall in love once you're serving your love, the food. They'll fall in love with you. It'll be like a fresh new start. Awesome. Now you got it. Good job. You can see the thickness of that. Pretty good. Nice. All right, you're feeling good about that?
Yeah.
All right. So we are going to clean up this right now, and then we're going to come back and show you the magic of stuffing and rolling and searing, and we'll make the crispy garlic too. All right, we'll be back. All right, we're back. Do the fun stuff.
All right.
So show us how to do the garlic chips first. It's going to garnish your potatoes.
So we're going to make crispy garlic. So we're going to do 2 cloves of garlic, and you're just going to kind of cut them paper thin, nice and thin.
And right here I have a pan of oil getting hot, and you want the oil pretty hot, not smoking hot. So I'm going to try and monitor this while she's slicing the garlic. And we're going to throw the garlic in, stir it up, and it's going to get crispy. It's going to look like this, which is delicious. Look at that. It's like garlic chips. And that Coco is so smart because it's a texture, another texture in your dish. So you're watching all these shows and you're thinking in your head and you're listening to your grandma and you're saying, it doesn't only have to taste good, but it has to feel good. It has to be like a party in your mouth, right?
Yeah.
And it has to look good, presentation. You got it all going on. You got that?
Yeah.
All set? All right. So we're going to throw that in there. Let me turn it up a little bit. Want to stir it?
Sure.
And it's getting a little crispy on the edges. It goes very quickly, right?
Yeah.
From white to dark. So you can't walk away. This is not something if the phone rings, you don't answer it. You're going to burn your garlic and then your oil will catch on fire. I'll pull this out for you. That looks good, right?
Yeah.
All right. Nice. And this is such a nice added touch, Coco. I think it's such a wonderful addition.
Thank you.
People might throw garlic in the water when they're making mashed potatoes, you know. Or,
Yeah, but it doesn't give it garlicky flavor.
yeah, it's really, really neat. So there it is. And it's crispy. Oh my goodness. Delicious. That's going to be great. All right. Now it's time to make the roulade. So there you go.
Thank you. So I'm going to take one of these. And this is stuffing that we already made earlier, so it's nice and cool. So you're just going to take a couple handfuls, just so it kind of fills a section of it up. And then you're going to take it and roll it. And then you can do your other one. And it's the same thing.
Nice. And we seasoned the stuffing with salt and pepper, so that's all flavoring the pork too. All right, here's your twine.
All right, so now we're going to take some twine, and it's about 3 pieces on each piece of pork.
And I tried to do this the chef way, where you continuously use one piece of twine today, and it just wasn't working with the small parcel of meat. So Coco's way was ruling. It rules. And so you have butcher's twine at your mom's?
Yeah.
And where did you buy it? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Because not everybody has butcher's twine. Do you know where the butcher's twine came from, Melissa?
We actually got it from some friends who have a
Okay, so it came from someone who owns a restaurant. If anyone needs butcher twine, come to me. I've got a lot. So I just was wondering, I wonder where you can get it. Probably at the grocery store, but it's a good thing to have on hand because you never know when you're going to be making roulade, right?
Yeah.
I think everyone's going to make this dish. Once you taste it, you're going to be so amazed. Now, while she's doing that, we are going to use the same pan that we cooked the garlic in to cook the pork because we don't want to dirty too many things. We just don't need as much oil. So we've got that. I'm just going to make sure it doesn't catch on fire there. And we're going to turn that back on. You are just a pro.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we're going to sear it on all sides, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to turn that up. So that's going to sear, right?
Yep.
And then what do we do with it?
We're going to take it out and we're going to put it on a tray lined with aluminum foil, and then we're going to put it in the oven.
All right. So lucky for us, we have some on a tray in our magic oven. And here it is. Voila. So we were hard at work today. I'm going to put that here. And Coco, do you want to take the twine off of some of it?
Sure.
Okay. Let me see how hot it is. It's not too hot.
Okay.
That's good. And meanwhile, and why don't you cut this one, for the presentation?
Okay.
All right. So Coco likes to serve it on a bed of potatoes. Mashed potatoes we made today. Some butter and heavy cream and salt and black pepper. You like using a pepper mill, don't you?
Yeah.
You think it's a much better flavor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Doing a good job there, right?
Yeah. This twine is pretty hard to cut.
Want some help?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna do it this way. And this one too?
Yes.
All right. There.
And then I think there's
Did you get
one
that one?
more.
No? One more.
Right there.
All right. So, there we go. Okay.
All right. So I like to cut it on the bias, which is on a diagonal.
Sauce. Okay, so you made some sauce today, right?
Yeah.
You made a really delicious sauce to just glaze the pork. It's balsamic vinegar and honey, about 4 parts vinegar to 3 parts honey. And where's that over there? So you want to glaze that a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. Nice. And then some crispy garlic. Oh my goodness. 11-year-old just made you dinner. Amazing, Coco. So that is beautiful. It's delicious. It has texture and flavor. It's very impressive and maybe one of the best dishes we've ever made on my show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So now that we've done all that, it's time to feed all of you, and we'll come back and we'll say goodbye and then we'll eat. So Coco, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
And lots of things came up from the audience while we were cooking. They have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
They wondered how the proper way to hold a knife is, because sometimes it's not easy to see what's going on back there. You want to show them?
Sure. So you want to have more control of the knife. So you want to hold your thumb up on the knife, and some people hold it down like this, but it could be like wobbly. So this way your arm is like extended and you have more control of it.
Good. Did you find that it helped you?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, good. Yay! So what we made today was pork that's stuffed with mushrooms and arugula. Have you ever tried to make roulade with anything else or stuff it with anything different?
I haven't, but it would be definitely cool to try something new.
And if you did it with chicken, maybe make sure you cook it a little bit longer.
Yeah, definitely.
With this great pork, we don't have to make sure it's totally done
Yeah.
on the inside, although when we cut it, I think it is. It's good, though. It's moist. And so we know that you watch a lot of Food Network, and that's really helped
Yeah.
give you inspiration and creativity. What are some of your favorite shows?
Probably Chopped and Chopped Junior.
Now,
Very
that's good.
entertaining to watch.
Yeah, and there, you said there was already a contestant from Vermont on Chopped Junior recently?
Yes, very close to where I live, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. And how did they do? How did that person do? Did they...
I'm not quite sure. I didn't hear much about it. I just heard that they were on it.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it was a season that you hadn't seen.
No.
Okay. Well, I think that Coco is going to be the first Vermonter to win Chopped. We got to all watch and cheer her on, and we're just waiting for that phone call. I know what it's like to wait for that phone call, so I want you to tell me when you get the call.
Okay,
all right?
I will.
Yeah, all right. We'll shout it from the rooftops. It's really exciting. Did you have fun tonight?
I did.
Do you
It was
think
lots
it was
of fun.
good experience?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I told her she's going to be like, give me that microphone. I know how to put it on. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Coco. Thank you, studio audience. Thank you out there in